Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Joe Figueroa with another video in our series Anatomy of a Dance, where I break down social dancing count for count, pointing out all the dancers do. In this week's video, I'm doing a 3 pieces of cool with these two lovely dancers, Giancarlo and Noemie. But first I'm going to ask you to share, like, and subscribe. If you'd like to donate to the work I do, there's a link in the description. But you better do it fast because we're starting right now. So lately I've been watching a lot of videos on social dancing in France. I guess since I'm going to the Paris Salsa Festival in April, I wanted to get a sense of what I might expect. This dance happened at a place called O'Sullivan's by the Mill. If you've ever looked at my channel, the location may look familiar. I'm going to dive right in with this rotation to progressive turn movement. What I think is cool is how, as Giancarlo meets Noemie in the center, he brings his right hand up and out in order to place it above her right arm. This choice does two things. First, it helps to brace Noemie for the rotation. I guarantee you, he is pressing down with his bicep in order to pin her arm against his torso. Doing this defines him as the axis of her rotation. While she is walking in the circular motion she is given, you can see here that she notices his palm is up. Right now she's thinking, is he asking for my hand? If you look at Giancarlo's face, you can tell that he's thinking, is she going to notice my hand? And she does. She gives him her hand as he begins leading a progressive or clockwise turn for her, raising both sets of hands over her head. Once the first turn is complete and she is facing him, Giancarlo lowers his right, her left, down before the second turn, resulting in Noemie's arm behind her back, a position sometimes referred to as a 70. Noemie noticed his waiting hand. She was quick to respond. That's good following. I also like how she styled out of this progressive turn by tipping her head back as far as she could, adding flair to the turn. They both backbreak into an enchufe movement next, trading places in the process. Please notice Giancarlo extends his arm out to the sides, having the hold act almost like railings for Noemie to hold on to for balance, giving her the opportunity to style with this rond de jambe. The next movement begins with this copa to inside turn. Giancarlo has Noemie's hand in his left. As she exits the inside turn, Giancarlo brings the handhold down toward her waistline, placing her arm behind her back. He also places her right hand from his right to his left, giving her the time and space to complete the turn at 6-7-1, and using that time to collect her left hand in front. You can see that here. Please notice that he aims her left hand downward, which straightens her arm. We won't be able to see the mechanic, but he is about to place her left arm behind her back. Note that. There's a reason why. With the right hand behind her back, Giancarlo begins to lead a progressive or clockwise turn for Noemie. Once her turn begins and she is facing the same direction as Giancarlo, he is able to freely raise the right hand up. I always tell my students that if you are going to raise or lower a follow's arm, it should happen in front of their face. Giancarlo then raises the handhold over his head as he turns to his right. He reaches out over her head in order to guarantee the completion of her progressive. In addition, he glances down to see if her left arm is behind her back where he placed it. Noemie being an excellent follow, of course it is. Good tip for follows here. Always leave your hand where the lead put them last. There is likely a reason for the placement. Giancarlo collects her left hand behind her back and now has her in what I refer to as a reversal, which is the reverse position of the original. See? Facing each other, her left in front, right in back. Here, her right in front and left in back. Once again, he provides preparation for her 6-7-1, and during those steps, changes her direction for a full turn on the prep, raising the right hands to her shoulder line. Leads notice the clear high and low lead here. Giancarlo then guides Noemie into another progressive turn, with both sets of hands going over her head as well as his, appearing as if the turns were simultaneous. Another quick tip about executing this kind of movement: there is no such thing as simultaneous. The follow always gets all their parts taken care of before the leads. Giancarlo flicks her right hand to catch it on the other side for the next movement. Okay, number 3. Giancarlo flicks Noemie's arm again, this time underneath her left arm, putting them both in a rights crossed over lefts position. This gives the opportunity for a double spin on the spot for Noemie. Giancarlo lowers Noemie's right arm after the first spin to place her arm behind her back after the second. As I said earlier, this is sometimes referred to as a 70 position. In addition to the 70, Giancarlo sidesteps a bit to his left and places his left hand, her right, over his head to pass behind his back. What you're about to see here is not at all easy to do quickly. Giancarlo releases the hand once it's past his head. He actually pushes her hand downward during the release. He needs to collect it at the midpoint, so he is using the momentum in the hand to send her right hand down. Quickly lowers his left hand to collect her hand down below. This all has to happen with precision. He has to release the hand at the count of 5, technically the f of 5, or the beginning. Then collect the hand below by the end of 5, the v of 5 if you will. Now as they both back break on 6, Noemie takes the stretch effect on the hand to mean a change of direction for her, as in a copa break. And she's correct. Her reaction to the slightest change in touch is very good. Giancarlo guides her past him. Here is what is essential for this type of movement, which you might not normally notice. Look at Giancarlo's hand here. His thumb is down. Also his wrist is bent upward. This means he is pressing into Noemie's hand, indicating to her that her direction is going to continue to be to his right, or behind her. Then raises the pressed hand up over her head to create a progressive turn, with both sets of hands swinging over her head in what I sometimes refer to as a windmill, swinging both sets of hands in a large circular motion. They end face to face in regular handhold position to go into the next movement, which coincidentally is the same movement as the last, only appears different because of the handhold. But make no mistake, Noemie's reaction and footwork are identical both times. And there you have 3 pieces of cool, at least as I see it. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to support what I'm doing, here's a QR code that you can use to donate. Anything is appreciated. Otherwise, please share, comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and hopefully very soon on the dance floor.